First things first, you've been quiet. You have been back on a bike for a little while now. Not forever, but a decent period. But yeah, you've stayed quiet. So has that been a conscious effort on your part to maybe approach things a little differently this time around?
No, honestly, for me, as the reason why I was off social media is like it took 9 months for me to get back on the bike, and then once I finally got back on the bike, I mean, it was pretty much right in the beginning of November, right? So, it takes a long time for you to just to get back in the motion of things. Like, I mean, it don't snap back like you want it to, of course. But I guess I would say for all my fans and stuff, once I got back on the bike, I pretty much just put my phone down and just I got to do some work, to get back to where I want to be at. So it's, like I said, so far it's been actually really, really good. A lot more and better than I expected. Of course, once you get back on the bike from 9 months, you got to go through the course of your knee, the whole 9 yards, and kind of go through all that process. And once I kind of get going, and so far it's been going good.
Yeah, so break this down for me. 9 months, which means you got back on the bike mid-October, beginning of October?
No, I still wasn't even releasing because I got surgery done mid-February.
Yeah, because it did take a little while after.
Well, because once I blew my knee out, it swelled up, and everybody knows you can't get surgery done when it's swollen. So that took a little while to calm down, and then I flew to Vail, and we got a schedule. So 9 months roughly kind of puts you around mid-end. I remember it was like riding like, my birthday's on October 27. I remember like first day riding like 2 days before my birthday, roughly. So then we have to turn around and get back on Supercross. So it's been a grind for me, but it's been fun though.
Yeah, so realistically, you've had 2 weeks on Supercross? 3 weeks on
I
Supercross?
would say a full month.
Okay.
Roughly. So, but again, I mean, I don't really care. I know that. So every time I've been gotten on the bike, everything's been going good. Of course, I had Christian Craig, and then of course Aaron Plessinger is something to lean towards, to stack up to, Hampshire, and we're right there. So as far as all that, that's been really, really good for me, and just brings a lot of confidence, and I'm really looking forward to A1, honestly, just because I kind of feel like I'm like the underdog a little bit. I'm the guy that kind of 27 kind of faded out a little bit because people only seen a race and a half, right? So they don't know anything, and kind of coming in like that is actually kind of cool.
Were you surprised how quickly your Supercross legs got back under you? Because the reports from your teammates and people riding with you are that you are flying and maybe the most fastest dirt bike rider in history ever.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of bounced back pretty quick. I don't know. I was like, wow, okay, we're
maybe you should try this 9 month thing.
Yeah, I know. I just think it's a lot of training. I've been doing a lot of cycling, so I prepared myself to, when I did get finally released and everything, I was ready to go. And I think that was like the coolest thing for me, is like, it didn't just take too long. I kind of bounced back out pretty quick, and fitness and everything was already kind of there. So at this point, it was just really more seat time. So that's why I just pretty much just got more and more riding. And I know my teammates have been like, dude, you're flying. What are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I just maybe because excited. I haven't raced in took a whole year off. Like, what do you want me to do? I mean, I'm definitely excited to be back riding. And I think sometimes it's just good to have that reset mode. I mean, my mind's in a really good place and everything like that. So, I mean, there's no complaints.
Yeah, I was wondering that actually, because when riders get injured, sometimes they say actually the forced break was positive. They could really take a lot from it. But seeing as you haven't raced outdoors over the years, you've always had this break. So was it still useful, or was it a bit more like, I just missed last summer and I don't want this? Yeah,
I mean, for this, this is a little too long. I was like, all right, but of course for me, it's I guess I would say it gave me some time to work on some other things that I needed to. And I'll be the first one to admit, I was stressed out, of course, when it first happened. Contract year, didn't know what was going to happen, and in this day and age right now, there's so many elite guys. I mean, you can't afford to lose something, otherwise you may not have this opportunity again. And the team to give me a 2-year extension definitely relieved a lot. They just said, hey, we'll see you somewhere in October, get that knee fixed. That was pretty much it.
In that time off, did you feel more vulnerable than maybe you have throughout your entire career?
I definitely become a great cyclist, that's for sure. I was definitely doing a lot of cycling. With training with Alden, I think that kind of helped me out. And dude, I was doing therapy, 6 days a week. And I just knew that and for the extensive damage I had with my knee, I knew that it's going to take a while. And I had to do everything I can to get this thing right and make sure I do the strength and everything. So whenever things do happen, of course, it's racing, right? When you twist it or whatever, I have the muscles and everything strong enough to hold it. So if anything, I actually feel like my knee's better than what it was, and which is great, to have that feeling. Maybe because I just focus on it so much that I feel like it's stronger than what it was before.
Going back to the start of this year and last year, 2022, you were a picture of consistency, always in the top 10 at worst, always between second to fifth, just you could count on that. Coming into this year, you were ridiculously fast, but there were a lot more mistakes. So was that you wanting too much in hindsight?
No, I'd just say just wrong place, wrong time. When I fall, and even when Anaheim won, when I false neutral, I'm just like, dude, as much time as I shift on a motorcycle, how do I find neutral? Just somehow, some way, but that's just what happens,
Yeah.
right? And that one kind of bummed me out for sure. And then, I went to San Diego, and I was like, all right, whatever, I got some work I got to do. Set myself up great, fastest qualifier, had one of the best heat races of my career, and then just blow it. First lap into the main event, I'm like, sweet, broken front fender and all, just like, just a simple mistake, and then after that, and get hurt Tuesday. I was just like, I just can't win. I just felt like the year just wasn't my year. But again, overall, the only thing I can say is where I left off is like I still felt like I had the speed. That's the only thing I can drive off of, right? That's the only thing I have, and again. Watching not only that, but some of my teammates and that race and stuff like that, and just how the series has stacked up this whole year. I just been trying to study it and watch guys and trying to learn off of them. But again, how it goes. Once you're at the races, you never know how racing is going to go until you're there.
So while you've been studying, what are some things that you've picked up on? Anything from other riders that surprised you, or something new you've learned maybe?
Not only that, I think I would say more so like studying our bikes, how the reaction of it and learning, because once it's been so long since I've had my bike, and I felt like the changes that have happened from the suspension and all that has changed tremendously. So watching kind of more of our bikes, go through the courses of that, and I'm also, when I'm meaning about our bikes, I'm talking all the Austrian bikes. So watching how the reaction and learning some stuff, talking with the team, and trying to pick a little bit of things from each and every different of course the manufacturer, but still in the one house, and try to fit that to our bike. Once I got back on the motorcycle, it actually kind of worked out, and learning from and ideas and stuff from the other riders. So I kind of, again, I've been behind the scenes, but I still felt like I've been still quite hands-on of learning and focusing. And of course, watching other guys' bikes as well. Of course, Jet, he's done phenomenal, hopping over things and stuff like that. Chase is a great rider, really over the front end and stacking up like that. So it's just cool to see riders, how each and every ride. And this time around, of course, when you're not racing, you look at things a lot differently.
Are you quite mechanically minded then, where you can watch bikes and really dissect what's going on, and like you enjoy getting into that technical side of things?
I think it's cool. I mean, what I say, you look at the reaction of a rider too, how a rider, if like a rider's tired, have an arm pump, you can kind of just see like the frustration of a rider. And I think because we know what it feels like, and it sucks, unfortunately. But it's just cool to just really kind of dissect that and see. And if my teammates are watching them ride or something like that, if I feel like their front end's a little too soft or whatever, if, of course, when RJ Hampshire and he was racing all the Supercross, I'd shoot him a text, and he'll shoot me a text in practice, be like, hey, what do you think about my suspension? Get a little video and, tell him what I think or whatever. So, again, being inside, I felt like, again, I wasn't at the races, but I still felt like part of being at the race.
And last thing, if we have a 100% Malcolm, where are you compared to that right now? How much more progress do you have to make to be at your peak? Do you still feel like actually, despite everyone saying that you're amazing right now, you have a long way to go?
I mean, I still don't know exactly where I'm going to be until I get to Anaheim 1, but I do know from where I feel great, and that's all I can go off of. And compared to where I was last year, I feel like some things that I was lacking on where I felt like I picked up on, and maybe that's because You know, we're doing a lot of off the bike stuff and some stuff and working on legs, you know, upper body strength and things. I felt like that kind of helped me out. So some of the stuff that I felt like going into the season, I was like, you know, I feel like I need a little bit more legs. I feel like this year, you know, I'm more prepared.